a blessed Wednesday to us. The expression, there is something greater than, is actually an indirect reference to the speaker, who is Jesus himself. And if we take a perspective into the biblical context, greater than Jonah actually means Jonah was a prophet. And by the way, as a prophet, if you read the very short book of the prophet Jonah, actually, one-liner rin siya nga prophet. He was not like Isaiah or Jeremiah, okay? Passionate with the words, okay? Ang ilang kinabuhi, giliminan gyud sa gahom sa pulong. Jonah was quite an exception. No? He was so reluctant, and I like the words that scholars use. So he was a petulant prophet. But just a line, the people of Nineveh believed. So he was a prophet. But what does something greater than Jonah here means? That the one speaking is a prophet, or more than just a prophet, because he is the prophet. A prophet cannot be a prophet without the word. And Jesus is the word that the prophet spoke. Remember the beautiful imagery of John the Baptizer as the voice, and then Jesus as the word. The voice can be heard, but is not clear without the words. And so this is the significance of the greater than. It's also the same thing that there is something greater than Solomon here. Because Solomon, considered the wisest man according to scriptures, and as the experience of the Eastern people also would attest, he was only wise. But why is something greater than Solomon here, who is Jesus? Because Jesus is not wise, but he is wisdom incarnate. So here we are talking about the greatness. In fact, the comparison lacks what we call, it's not guaranteed. It's not a warranted differentiation or comparison. Because you cannot compare a wise man with wisdom. You cannot compare a prophet with the word that the prophet is speaking. But then, it is something that is given to us because we too are called Christians. We have Christ in us. Despite our unwillingness or our petulance or our kanang mag-ukon-ukon ta sa atong kinabuhi, like Jonah, we will still become instruments of spreading the news. And at the same time, through the way that we live our lives, we may be sources or examples of the wisdom that God has actually given through the way we live our lives as we struggle with so many different challenges in our lives. And it is also in the context of the season of Lent that here we are reminded that we are speakers of the word, we are instruments of the wisdom and the life that God has practically shared with us. And so we also have to share with others as our witness that there is something greater than Jonah here, that there is something greater than Solomon here. Amen.